Stormtrooper. Stormtroopers form the absolute foundation of the Imperial military hierarchy and serve as the primary enforcement arm of the Galactic Empire. They are enlisted soldiers, not officers, and hold no formal command authority unless temporarily assigned during operations. Stormtroopers are a specialized branch separate from the Imperial Army, answering directly to Imperial High Command and often operating alongside naval forces, intelligence units, and high-ranking officers. Their presence signals that the Empire is no longer negotiating, but enforcing compliance. Recruitment into the Stormtrooper Corps pulls from across the galaxy, favoring candidates who demonstrate physical resilience, psychological compliance, and unquestioning loyalty. Training is harsh and deliberately dehumanizing. Recruits are stripped of personal identity, assigned numeric designations, and conditioned to obey commands without hesitation. Individuality is discouraged because the Empire values uniform response over creativity. This approach ensures consistency, predictability, and control within its ranks. The iconic white plastoid armor worn by Stormtroopers is both functional and symbolic. It provides limited protection against blaster fire, environmental hazards, and shrapnel, while also reinforcing anonymity. The armor turns the soldier into a faceless extension of Imperial authority, making Stormtroopers effective tools for intimidation during occupations, raids, and crowd suppression. Civilians are meant to see the armor, not the person inside it. Operationally, Stormtroopers serve as shock infantry. They spearhead assaults, secure key installations, guard prisoners, and patrol worlds under Imperial control. While not commanders, veteran Stormtroopers may lead small fire teams or checkpoints under the direction of non-commissioned officers. Advancement from this rank requires long service records, exceptional discipline, and demonstrated loyalty to Imperial ideology. Stormtroopers embody the Empire's belief that order is maintained through uniformity, obedience, and overwhelming presence. Corporal. Corporal is the first step above the standard Stormtrooper and marks the beginning of non-commissioned authority within the Imperial ranks. Corporals are still frontline soldiers, but they are trusted with limited leadership responsibilities, usually over small groups of troopers. This rank exists to bridge the gap between enlisted personnel and higher command, ensuring that orders are carried out efficiently at the ground level. Corporals are typically selected from experienced Stormtroopers who have demonstrated reliability, discipline, and an ability to enforce Imperial doctrine without hesitation. Promotion to corporal is not based on creativity or initiative, but on consistency and loyalty. The Empire prefers leaders who follow orders precisely and ensure others do the same. Corporals are expected to maintain discipline within their unit, correct mistakes immediately, and report insubordination without delay. On the battlefield, corporals often lead fire teams, oversee checkpoints, or manage patrols during occupations. They relay orders from sergeants or officers and make real-time decisions in combat situations, such as positioning troopers, securing flanks, or coordinating suppressive fire. While their authority is limited, their role is critical. A competent corporal can mean the difference between a controlled operation and complete disorder. Beyond combat, corporals also serve an important psychological function. They act as the Empire's eyes and ears within the ranks, monitoring morale and ensuring ideological compliance. They are expected to discourage hesitation, eliminate doubt, and reinforce the idea that obedience is survival. In many ways, the corporal is the Empire's first line of internal control, shaping Stormtroopers into disciplined instruments of Imperial will. Sergeant. Sergeant is a senior non-commissioned officer rank and represents a significant increase in responsibility within the Imperial military structure. Sergeants are no longer just squad leaders. They are the backbone of unit-level command, responsible for enforcing discipline, maintaining cohesion, and ensuring that Imperial objectives are carried out efficiently under fire. While still subordinate to commissioned officers, sergeants are often the highest-ranking personnel present during frontline engagements. Promotion to sergeant is granted only to those who have demonstrated exceptional reliability, battlefield competence, and unwavering loyalty to the Empire. Sergeants are expected to think tactically, not strategically. Their role is not to question orders, but to interpret them and apply them effectively in real combat scenarios. They must manage personnel, adapt to rapidly changing situations, and keep troopers operational even under extreme pressure. In combat, sergeants typically command squads or multiple fire teams. They coordinate movements, assign targets, manage defensive positions, and ensure communication between units remains intact. When officers are absent, sergeants assume de facto command, making them essential to the Empire's ability to wage large-scale warfare across countless systems. Their authority allows them to issue direct orders, discipline troopers on the spot, and reorganize units as needed. Outside of battle, sergeants play a critical role in training and indoctrination. They drill recruits, enforce protocol, and serve as living examples of Imperial discipline. A sergeant's effectiveness directly shapes the quality of the troopers under their command. In many ways, sergeants are the Empire's enforcers within the ranks, ensuring that fear, order, and obedience are maintained long before higher officers ever intervene. Lieutenant. Lieutenant is the first fully commissioned officer rank within the Imperial military hierarchy and marks a clear transition from enforcement to command. Unlike non-commissioned officers, lieutenants are granted authority not only through experience but through Imperial sanction. They are trained to issue orders, oversee operations, and represent the will of higher command on the ground or aboard Imperial vessels. Lieutenants are often assigned to command platoons, oversee security detachments, or serve as junior officers on Star Destroyers and other capital ships. Their responsibilities include tactical planning at the local level, coordinating multiple squads, and ensuring objectives are met within strict Imperial timelines. While they do not make large-scale strategic decisions, they are expected to execute orders precisely and without hesitation, adapting to battlefield conditions while remaining loyal to doctrine. The Empire selects lieutenants based on obedience, ideological alignment, and the ability to command without empathy. Compassion is viewed as a weakness, and hesitation is unacceptable. Many lieutenants come from military academies where they are indoctrinated into Imperial philosophy from the beginning, reinforcing loyalty to the state over personal judgment. This ensures that even junior officers act as extensions of Imperial authority rather than independent thinkers. In practice, lieutenants function as the Empire's operational managers. They bridge the gap between high command and the soldiers carrying out missions on the ground. Their presence enforces hierarchy, maintains discipline, and ensures that orders flow downward without distortion. Whether leading troops in combat or overseeing security aboard a warship, a lieutenant's role is to maintain control and execute Imperial will efficiently. Captain. Captain is a senior officer rank within the Imperial military and represents a major step up in authority, responsibility, and trust. Captains are no longer simply executing localized orders. They are expected to interpret objectives, command large forces, and ensure that Imperial doctrine is enforced across entire operations. By the time an officer reaches this rank, the Empire considers them fully proven in loyalty and competence. Imperial captains commonly command companies of stormtroopers, oversee multiple battalions of army troopers, or serve as senior officers aboard Star Destroyers and other capital ships. On naval vessels, a captain may act as the ship's commanding officer or as the second in command beneath a higher-ranking commander. In ground operations, captains coordinate large-scale assaults, planetary occupations, and long-term security campaigns, often operating with limited oversight from superiors. Unlike lieutenants, captains are involved in broader tactical planning. They decide how resources are allocated, where troops are deployed, and how aggressively objectives are pursued. Failure at this level is not tolerated lightly, as mistakes can result in the loss of ships, cities, or entire planetary systems. As a result, captains are expected to rule through discipline and fear, maintaining order through strict enforcement rather than inspiration. Imperial captains often embody the Empire's ideology more openly than lower officers. Many view themselves as civilizing forces bringing order to chaotic worlds. This mindset justifies extreme measures, including mass arrests, forced compliance, and lethal suppression of resistance. Compassion is seen as a liability, and captains who show hesitation risk being replaced or executed. In essence, captains are the backbone of Imperial command. They translate the ambitions of higher leadership into concrete military action, ensuring that the Empire's presence is felt decisively wherever they are stationed. Commander. Commander is a high-ranking officer position within the Imperial military and represents a level of authority where individuals begin shaping entire campaigns rather than individual battles. Officers at this rank are trusted with significant autonomy and are expected to carry out Imperial objectives with minimal supervision. A commander is no longer judged solely on obedience, but on results. Imperial commanders often serve as the commanding officers of star destroyers, task force leaders, or senior ground commanders overseeing planetary occupations. In the Navy, a commander may be responsible for an entire capital ship and its crew, including multiple captains and subordinate officers. On the ground, they coordinate large formations, manage prolonged military operations, and enforce Imperial rule across cities, continents, or even entire worlds. At this level, decision-making becomes strategic. Commanders determine how fleets are positioned, when force is escalated, and how rebellions are crushed before they can spread. They are expected to anticipate resistance, adapt to changing conditions, and maintain absolute control over their subordinates. Failure is not met with reassignment, but punishment, as the Empire considers commanders expendable if they do not deliver victories. Commanders are also deeply political figures within the Imperial system. Many work closely with Moffs, Imperial intelligence, or even Darth Vader himself. Advancement depends not just on military success, but on ideological loyalty and the ability to navigate Imperial power structures. Ambition is common at this rank, and commanders often compete with one another for favor, resources, and recognition. Psychologically, commanders represent the Empire at its most ruthless. They are far removed from the battlefield's human cost and view troops, ships, and civilians as assets to be expended. This detachment allows them to carry out brutal orders without hesitation, making them some of the most dangerous individuals in the Imperial hierarchy. Commander is the final stepping stone before the truly elite ranks of Imperial leadership. Those who survive long enough often rise to admirals, governors, or enforcers of the Emperor's will on a galactic scale.